You know what to do, you just can't force yourself to do it for long enough to make any progress. Everyone, including myself, understands what this is like. It absolutely sucks. It's like there's a part of you that just isn't playing ball, that's kind of sabotaging you and you don't really know why. It's like you can't figure it out. If this sounds like you, then no problem, because this is exactly what I'm talking about in this video, because the other day, something really powerful happened to me, something really unexpected. And the exercise that brought this about is exactly what I'm talking about in this video. It's an inner child exercise, but it's maybe not something you've come across before. Maybe you have, I don't know. But in this video, I want to share it with you because maybe if you're struggling, if you have some emotional block or some fear or some belief or some bad habit or just something holding you back, maybe this is the exercise that's going to shift it for you. If it ends up working, then please do consider dropping me a like on this video because it really does help me grow my channel and helps this video reach more people. So thank you, I appreciate it. Now, for you to understand fully what this exercise is and why it works so well, you need to understand first my mindset going into the exercise so you can apply it to yourself. The truth is, over the past couple of weeks, I've really been struggling with procrastination. And not only procrastination, but you know what I'm talking about, like all the bad habits that come with it. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy my life. I do, I really enjoy my life and I'm really happy with the progress I'm making toward my goals. But every now and then, something in me just takes over, really. And that something just wants to hide in bed and avoid the world completely. Now, I've met this something a few times before. In fact, I call him my inner teenager because that's how it feels. When I get the image in my head, it's like he's around 15 years old, he's got a shaved head and he looks all angry, he's got his fists up and he's really rebellious. And when he takes over, all momentum in my life is gone. Everything takes more energy. It starts feeling like my limbs are made of cement. I start getting food cravings, like cravings for fried chicken, for pizza, for kebabs. Health is not on the agenda at all. I end up having these cravings to watch porn and jerk off and just sort of numb myself into oblivion. And I spend hours, like a week ago, I spent like hours in the day playing Skyrim. And yes, that's a video game that came out around 12 years ago, which is even more embarrassing. But it's like that part of me just wants to sabotage everything. And honestly, I had no idea why. A self-sabotage takeover this strong hasn't happened in over a year until 2 weeks ago. Well, that was until the other day. As I sat journaling outside the cafe across the street from my house like I do every morning, I felt this wave of anxiety, like bang, like right in my chest, all of a sudden. Now, usually I would go into sort of workaholic mode and start writing a script or start doing some sort of work to avoid it. But for some reason this time I didn't do that. I decided to turn towards the pain, that feeling in my chest instead. My inner teenager came up in my mind, so what I decided to do was to let him speak his piece. I decided to let him take over the pen and actually write out in words what hurts. And what came out astonished me. Are you ready? Because this is what he said. I'll read you a little snippet. Fuck it, what's the point? We can always do this personal growth thing later. Fuck dad, he's an asshole. Why do I have to be what he wants? Fuck him, stop trying to make me do things. I'll fucking hit you, I do what I want. If I want to eat chicken at 2 AM on a Monday morning, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. You can't fucking stop me, stop judging me. Why do you always tell me what to do? Why can't you just love me? Why do I have to be perfect all the time? I am my own man, get the fuck off my back. As the pen stopped moving, I was just sat there stunned, to be honest, in silence. Because the truth is, I never actually realised how this part of me really felt. But after doing that writing exercise and letting him speak, I now knew a few things about him. I knew that he felt unloved, he felt trapped, he felt judged and criticised, and also he just wants to be his own man, he wants to be respected. And by the way, if there's something that you perceived in the share that I just gave you in the letter that I didn't pick up on, then pop that in the comment down below because I may have missed something. But as I sat there, I just couldn't help but feel deep compassion, also sadness, and honestly a little bit of guilt. I'll tell you why in a moment, but the truth is I get why I feel this way. I get why he feels this way, that part of me. I never felt respected growing up. I always felt judged by my father. He was a controlling, powerful, and really intimidating man. He had this presence that was he had like a gravitational pull around him. And this is the kind of pull that as I got older and wanted to become my own man, I found it almost impossible to escape from. And also, I guess the most painful thing really is that I never actually felt loved by him. Like, I would tell myself logically that he loves me, but honestly, I never actually felt it. So this is why I felt guilty. Because as I read back this letter that part of me wrote, as I read it back, I realised that what I'd been doing over the past couple of months was treating him the exact same way my father treated me when I was younger. The same kind of criticism and judgment and pressure and unacceptance and come on, go, you got to do better, you know, but not in like a compassionate way, in like a really judgmental, harsh way. So it's absolutely no wonder why my inner teenager was in rebellion mode. So writing that letter put me in contact with the source of the procrastination that I was struggling with. But that was only half of it, because what came next was arguably more important, because I then wrote a second letter, but this time it was me speaking. And I said something to the effect of, Ollie, I'm sorry you were always judged. I'm sorry Dad wasn't there for you in the way you needed. I can tell you're in pain, and I just wanted to let you know that I'm here now. You aren't alone, I'm listening, and I will never leave you. I carried on writing in this way, offering support, offering love, offering compassion, offering protection. And then without warning, the floodgates opened. Tears started streaming down my cheeks, I started shaking, I was crying like a baby. But it felt good, it felt amazing, it felt necessary. The more I wrote, the more I cried. But it wasn't me crying, really. It was the teenager in me who had been alone in there for so many years. Now, I need to tell you something that I didn't mention at the start of the video, something that's quite important. Around age 15, the age that my inner teenager is, then when I picture him, is around the age where my mum passed away. Right after that, my family fell apart, really. I lost my whole family when I was around 15. It just kind of fell to pieces. My dad started drinking. We went to Ibiza in a motorhome, like I was pulled out of school, out of my routine. Life just fell apart around me. And the worst part about it is that at age 15, I felt so unbelievably and completely alone. I've never felt as alone as I did back then. It must have been so traumatic that that part of me got stuck in there. I must have never fully healed from it. But the thing is, as the tears cleared, I felt lighter. I felt like I took off like a 20-kilo backpack, and I felt like I could move a little more freely. I didn't feel fully out of the woods, but I felt better. But when I woke up the following morning, I didn't really notice the difference, not fully. But that was until I was ordering my morning coffee like I do every morning. As the cashier asked me açúcar, which is Portuguese for sugar, usually I say yes immediately to the sugar. But then this other voice came in that says, you don't need it, mate. And that voice was actually my voice. And I could hear it for the first time in a while, because my inner teenager wasn't making as much noise anymore. For the first time in a number of weeks at least, he was happy. And after that, the pull of procrastination lifted. Next thing you know, I was back to eating blueberry protein pancakes, drinking smoothies, writing 1,000 words a day and hitting the gym. It's like all my good habits came back, and that pull, those cravings and that procrastination, it just disappeared, and it didn't feel like an effort. So the next time you're struggling with procrastination, that pull of passivity, that feeling that you can't make any progress, where you're feeling stuck in life and you're feeling like you're ashamed of that, like you're beating yourself over the head with it, like an inner critic, then maybe what you don't need is the David Goggins approach, where you're forcing yourself to do things. Maybe what you actually need to do is to give that part of you that's either afraid, scared, maybe you need to give that part of you a voice. And maybe you could try writing a letter from that part of you. Listen to what comes up, and then treat that part of you with love. Not shame, not criticism, not pressure, but like brotherly, or even if you feel like it, fatherly love. If you resonated with this video, then click this video next, because I think you're really gonna like that one too. It's another kind of deeper shadow work based sort of exercise that you can use to heal. And as always, mate, if you want to work with me, click the link in the pinned comment down below. You'll learn all about how to work with me, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.